Here are 3 tools I can always count on making my art a little more irregular, unexpected, and definitely in the abstract realm. Let me show you what they are. I have here this canvas, or it's actually a wood panel with a lot of just extra layers on it that I've been piling over. And I don't know where I want to go with it, but I'm definitely going to stay in the abstract. One of my favorite tools is this. It's a color shaper, and it's a really good way to spread the paint. And let me get another one here to dig in. This is a little too big, but what I do is I'll just take a bunch of paint and put it on the canvas. And let me just get this off. And I love just moving it around with one of these color shapers. It smooths the paint out. It's a totally different way of moving. I'll often switch hands. And I mean, look, it goes on super smooth, easy. If you want, you can leave these lines in here and just give it a different layer of texture. And it's a fun way of moving. I mean, you cannot really get details with this because it's stiff. It just doesn't offer that. And that's what I'm always looking for. Another thing that I love to do is take some paint and put it on the brayer, or I will put it here and I will just roll the brayer in it. It depends on how thick I want the paint. And then I just, take it, and sometimes I'll take it all the way down and then I bring it back up and I've got this blend of stuff that is really unexpected, but look at the texture. It's not a super strong texture, but it is strong enough to see, and it brings in a great quality. And if I don't always want the same texture throughout, so then I come back in with this and I will smooth sections of it out, and I just have fun with it like that. And then my third one is just my butcher paper right here. And do you see, I don't throw it away after I use it. You can tell by looking at here, there's lots of crevices, like paint gets in some sections and then it doesn't in others, and it creates this these divots within here that make it even more irregular. And it's kind of thick now, but to me they become more valuable like this. And so I'm going to put some paint on here, and you could see. Let me move this actually so you could see. I generally like to lay it flat, and that way it kind of creates, it depends. Sometimes I go thick, sometimes I go thin. It depends on, just what mood I'm in and what I want to experiment with. But it helps me to keep things really irregular and out of control. And that sounds counterintuitive, for our life. Like we always want to be in control of things. I mean, most of us, I know that's a tendency for me. And so to do things that purposely leave us out of control, it's very awkward, right? And so, but that's what this will do. And so let's bring this back over. And I will often wait for the paint to dry because it's just going to pick up the paint. So let me move this here, and I'm going to put it more so on this section so that you can see. But we'll get both. You can see what happens to the wet paint and more of the drier. So it's going to pull up some of this blue, but it did transfer some of the white. And even though this is, just some beginning layers, you see there's definitely a different texture from this white paint. It's got a different patterned texture than the patterned texture of the brayer. And when the paint is dry, what I often do, then I'll come back in and I'll put some of this. I'll just go like this, grab the extra paint here and start transferring it to the dry sections. Now, this is wet, but you can see it starting to happen. And then sometimes I come back here with that, and look you can create all these different irregular things. And then I come back in sometimes and I just smooth out some sections because I don't want it to look too planned, and it can, even if you're doing stuff like that. So I'll come back in, I mess it up, and I let it dry, and we do it all over again. So try experimenting with different tools. Maybe, today you go, I'm going to use a spatula, a brayer, and a piece of paper, and that's it. And see what that does for you and play with it. And I bet you will see a totally different energy in your paintings.